Mic test, mic test.
I can hear you.
All right. Hi, everyone. GM. Wait a second. I think I'm kind of loud. I don't know. But I'll try to adjust along the way. So, hi, everyone. Welcome to Let Them Cook. So, this is our episodes wherein we invite guests who are building projects, new projects, and they'll be introducing it to the wider Web3 community. So this is our platform that we've created for that specific reason. And we are very excited to have you all today. So welcome everyone. This is your host for Let Them Cook, J Bond. And I'd like to pass on the mic to my co-host, Pancake, for her quick introduction.
Hi everyone! So welcome to the fifth edition of Let Them Cook. So Let Them Cook is our on-demand space to offer a platform for new projects to share what they're cooking to our Bond Cake community. And today we're very happy to be joined by Planet Atmos. And this project raised $11 million from multiple backers like Animoca Brands, Cointelegraph. So let's get to know what they're cooking in today's show. And before we begin, I'd like to invite you all to retweet the space and invite your friends to come on over. Also, if you haven't joined our giveaway yet for the MKIV suit, you can still do so. So come and join the giveaway, and winners will be drawn later in the show. So, J Bond, would you like to introduce our guest today?
Sure, it will be my honor. So for today, we have Planet Atmos, like what Pancake mentioned, and behind the Planet Atmos account, and correct me if I'm wrong, but uh, this is what we know, and we're very excited to welcome you, Kevin. Kevin Beauregard is the CEO of Planet Atmos, and welcome, Kevin. Is that
Thank
Kevin
you.
in
Thank
the?
you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's me. You got it. You got it right. You got it
All
right.
right.
This is Kevin Beauregard, founder and CEO of Planet Atmos. Super excited to join you guys. Thanks so much for having us. And yeah, excited to dive in, guys.
All right. We're excited to have you, Kevin. Thank you for joining us in the show. And we're really excited to talk about Planet Atmos and everything that you've been cooking on your end. So before we begin, what from which country are you? What time is it right now there?
It is 9 a.m. I am in Austin, Texas, in the United States.
Okay, it's 10 p.m. from where we are, but it's always GM.
That's
Wherever,
right.
yeah,
Oh
wherever
yeah.
in Web3. So yeah, let's get the ball rolling. I'd like to pass the mic back to my co-host Pancake for the first question.
Hi, Kevin. So, we'd like to know more about you. Can you tell us more about yourself? What led you to Web3 and ultimately to Planet Atmos?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been quite a journey. I can now say that I've been in the blockchain space for a little over 10 years, which is pretty wild. I got my start Bitcoin mining, and then I was the technical co-founder at a payment processor back in 2013. We were one of the first payment processors doing altcoin to fiat rails. And then when Ethereum came out, I got into smart contract development. I ended up building two NFT marketplaces and working on a DeFi protocol called Vesper Finance before ultimately I decided back in 2021 that I really wanted to create Planet Atmos. And so I, called up some really fantastic people who I'd worked with in the past, and we started off on this journey. And here we are, 3 years later, still building, but finally sharing with the world the things that we've been doing. So, kind of backing that up a little bit, my background has largely been in tech and entrepreneurship, and I've started three companies in the space, Planet Atmos being the third, and obviously, we're really really excited about what we're building, and to kind of just segue into that a little bit. Planet Atmos is a Web3 game studio building a series of games, not just a single game, a series of games with a connected economy that underpins all of them. Really built around this idea of fostering competition and trying to make sure that we're delivering fantastic gaming and competitive experiences while telling amazing stories and delivering things that people want to see and watch as well. And our first game is called ExoGP, and it is a flight combat racing game, and I'm sure we'll talk more about that as we go here.
All right, that's amazing to hear. And we were very curious about like why Planet Atmos, and you kind of touched on that earlier, but I'd like to harp on that topic a little bit more. So,
Absolutely, and
yeah,
you're not harping at all. We're just talking.
yeah. So obviously
It's
you've mentioned, yeah, that Planet Atmos is like a series of games. So I
Yep.
assume this will be like in a planet. So it's like Planet Atmos, and there would be like
Mhm.
different games, ExoGP being the first one. So could you tell us the insight about like having this one singular planet with multiple games, competitive games in it?
Absolutely. So, to kind of answer that, I'll back it up to the bear market of 2019. And I had just finished, working on an NFT marketplace, and we were struggling to get users. Obviously, bear market. There wasn't a ton of action in NFTs in 2019, if you remember. And I ended up writing a paper, and nobody's ever seen it. It's been stashed in my Google Drive. Probably should be burned. It's not that good. But it ultimately was talking about the things that we were seeing in the Web3 space, and how I thought competitive gaming, combined with some of the things from traditional sports, and Web3 together, would make a really formidable combo in terms of creating content that really leveraged Web3 properly and ultimately brought net new users into the Web3 space while creating a fantastic platform to build more content, build more exciting things. Right. And one of the kind of takeaways uh, in that paper, if we call it a paper, was the idea of story and narrative underpinning competitive ecosystems, and creating kind of a backbone for spectatorship and excitement. And I use the references of Quidditch and Harry Potter and Ender's Game as two kind of really interesting examples in fiction of games that exist that instantly make you want to play them, right? And taking that and then looking at the Web3 space and saying, okay, I want to, obviously I believe in the idea that everybody should be able to own their assets, and that economies with property rights are better than those without. And from a competitive standpoint, right, one of the things that Web3 gets us that has been really impossible is risk, like actually having risk in the digital space and thereby having reward. And so this kind of confluence of ideas ultimately led to Planet Atmos. And really, that was just combining, my love of science fiction and my team's love of science fiction, with this idea and this question, really, of if you accelerated humanity 500 years into the future, what kinds of sports and games would they develop, right? And it's such a simple question. If you had a spacesuit that could fly, how long would it take before you would race it, right? And how long would it take before human society at that point gravitated around that as a game, as something that they wanted to watch and participate in, and all of the things that are derivative of that, bet on, as an example, right? And so really that's how Planet Atmos kind of was formed, and ultimately, right, that it gave us this springboard, it gave us that narrative backbone to go, okay, we're creating this world around these, this society, but also these suits, and these suits are the centerpiece, and we call them exosuits or exos. They're the centerpiece of everything that we're doing. What else can we do with them? What other games could we possibly make in the future? what other what kinds of experiences do people want? And then on the other side of things, right, we're we're all kind of gearheads on the team, right? We all love cars and car culture, and we really wanted to capture some of that magic from racing games, especially like the Need for Speed games from the early 2000s, and capture that customizability and that tuning culture esque opportunity that comes with the modularity that we're building. Um, and I'm kind of getting off topic and rambling a little bit, so we'll bring it back to you guys and keep going.
Thanks for that, Kevin. It's amazing that you shared that you thought of so much different lores for the different games that you'll be putting out. So also you touched up on on your team a while ago. So could you introduce to us more about the Atmos team and what do you think the team has that equips Planet Atmos to become successful?
Well, we have great team members. I think that's one thing that we pride ourselves on, right? And we've got just phenomenal creative minds. Starting with my head of game design, Dylan Bushnell. Not only is he responsible for designing XOGP, but he's also written all of the comic issues that we've released and the ones we haven't released yet. Forming that narrative backbone to Planet Atmos. He's just a phenomenal talent. He's worked in a ton of different games and media on all different platforms. He really is just truly unbelievable. We've got Tommy Lee Edwards, who is a downright legend in the comic space, as our creative director. He's worked on all kinds of games and movies. He co-created Marvel's 1985 with Mark Miller. He's worked on movies like The Book of Eli. Just a truly unbelievable creative. Richard Ng, our head of marketing, is he comes from traditional gaming and esports background, and is just like totally wired into the gaming space as a whole. And then Todd Moffat, my head of product, has worked with me in the Web3 space prior. And so we really cover that whole spectrum, which is what we need, because ultimately we're building a brand and an ecosystem around games and media. And it's important that we bring diversified skill sets to the table, right? Where I bring a blockchain and a technology background, and Dylan brings a games background, and Tommy brings a media and arts background, etc. So we've got some fantastic coverage across our team, and I'm absolutely privileged to work with each and every one of them, and all the folks on the team who I didn't name here, but are equally important to our success.
That is amazing to hear, and we're really excited to see where you guys are taking Planet Atmos. I think the combination of your team that has experience and expertise in blockchain and gaming and entertainment from like giants like Marvel, Lucasfilms and such. I think it's a great combination, and we're kind of seeing that play out with the recent trailers that we're seeing. I think it's really dope, and we'll really talk about that later with XOGP, the graphics, the gameplay, etc. But before we go there, I think one of the things that got a lot of people's attention is your recent raise of 11 million USD. So congrats on that. And I'd like to ask, how were you able to secure seed investment and partnership from the likes of Animoca Brands and Cointelegraph?
So Cointelegraph wasn't one of them, but it was a CoinGecko. However, regardless, I think we have great partners, and there's no other way to say that other than they're folks that we had a lot of conversations with, that dug deep on what we were building and how we were building it, and obviously they believed in us and believed in the team, and really grateful that they wanted to be a part of this journey to build Planet Atmos. So overall, super fortunate. and obviously, we appreciate their backing and them being on this journey with us.
Looks like Planet Atmos has great backers and great partners too. So we're very interested on the development of Planet Atmos, and we see in your bio that in the terms Exordorium and ExoGP. And would you mind sharing the audience what these are?
Absolutely. So Exordium is our comic series, and that was what I talked about just a moment ago. That is co-created by Dylan Bushnell and Tommy Lee Edwards on our team, and ultimately is that narrative backbone for everything that's going on Planet Atmos, and it's setting the stage for us building everything that we're building. And so the first 9 issues of Exordium, 3 of which we have released, really follow one season of ExoGP on Planet Atmos and follow a couple different racers and their different storylines on how they're going through this journey, what's going on the planet at large, and really form that narrative basis for everything that we're building elsewhere. And then ExoGP is our first title, right? And it is jetpack racing in space. It is, think Iron Man meets Mario Kart, and it's designed to be, we call it Bushnell's Law. It's designed to be, easy to pick up and learn and hard to master, right? It's very easy to pick up and play, but it's very hard to be very good at. And it's designed to be, a competitive racing game that is inherently multiplayer and includes combat elements, right? So you're able to run into other players and unlock modules that give you different abilities throughout the race, and ultimately, obviously, like any other race, you're competing to come in first. And it's we call it our first metaverse native sport. But it really is. It's the first game from Planet Atmos, and it's an absolute blast to play. And obviously, there's quite a bit of footage getting shared around right now from a tournament that we have running called Canyon Blitz, and looking forward to you all seeing that, because it really is pretty awesome to see. Obviously, this game in the hands of users really for the first time at scale.
All right. So you mentioned about Canyon Blitz, and we are seeing a lot of people, gamers, and some people that I know are kind of participating in it. Before I go to my next question, I'd like to ask on that. So Canyon Blitz is ExoGP, or is it like a closed beta, closed alpha?
Canyon Blitz is a closed alpha tournament for ExoGP. Yes. So it is. It's got a $10,000 prize pool, and it is a time trial based tournament. So all of the players are playing online, but they're playing single player, and they're racing for the best possible time. And then next Wednesday on May 8th, we're going to stream the finals in our Discord live, with a bunch of the participants who make it through the qualifying sections. And obviously we'll be kind of commentating that live, and also just talking through gameplay, and talking to the competitors, just like any other broadcast. But it's going to be fantastic. We've had really great responses so far. We've done a couple of spaces on our channel as well with some of the competitors. Absolutely loving the trash talk that we're getting between the competitors. That's some of my favorite. But it's really been a privilege to get to see these people enjoying themselves and competing in ExoGP.
Got it. So really excited to see. I think the footage that's being shared around has been really great, and the video that you have in your profile has been really hype. So I think this should excite people who saw this about the upcoming mint of the MKIV suits. So could you talk us through? Yeah. Would you like to say anything about that? Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry. Go. I was just gonna say, full credit to our art team on that trailer. It's freaking beautiful. It is. It's everything that we dreamed of when we first imagined XOGP and more. So full credit to the team on that. And I think. Well, I cut you off before you finished your question. I just wanted to give credit where credit was due there.
No, absolutely. You can cut me off anytime, and I agree. I think the team deserves a lot of credit for that one. One of the better trailers I've seen here in Web3. So kudos to you guys on that. So I'm interested. Like obviously the trailer should hype a lot of us up, but could you talk us through the game mechanics and the gameplay behind XOG?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a competitive multiplayer game designed for lobbies of 8 people. It's also playable in time trial mode for obviously single player racing as well. But it is combat flight racing. So you're racing in 3 dimensions. You're flying in an exosuit, which makes track design very interesting because our brains are wired to think about things like we're on the ground because we all have to live with gravity. And so there's verticality in these tracks, which makes a big difference, right? Going straight up in the air slows you down quite a bit, and obviously diving speeds you up quite a bit. On top of that, there are modules that you can unlock or will be able to unlock. Obviously, in the Canyon Blitz tournament, because they're playing single player, they don't have access to modules. Um, but that have different offensive and defensive capabilities, right? As an example, right, one of the modules is a smoke screen, which in testing we have determined is very, very OP. And it basically blinds everyone behind you. And maybe we need to nerf that a little bit. But overall, right, one of the fascinating things about racing games is that, they're playable in a way where it's so easily understandable what's happening, right? You're trying to come in first, but we've incorporated some really fantastic elements to gameplay involving teams and creating leaderboards for these teams in a way that kind of takes some of the dynamics that you see in Formula One racing and scoring and brings them into XOGP, and does that in a way where even while you're playing by yourself competitively, right, the points that you score in a race ultimately impact your team's leaderboard as well on a broader scale and have the ability to potentially impact rewards.
Thanks for that, Kevin. So XOGP sounds so fun and the gameplay sounds good with the team leaderboards feature. So you mentioned the Canyon Blitz tournament with a $10,000 prize pool. That's amazing. Who are eligible to participate here, and can we expect more of these in the future?
So for this tournament, you have to have a golden helmet NFT in order to enter, and we've limited the number of participants to that. And we've been doing a bunch of giveaways. I believe we still have a few left. So in order to get in on that, you have to be in our Discord, following us on Twitter, following folks like Jay Bond as well, and making sure obviously you're paying attention when those giveaways happen, and then you're moving quickly because the qualifiers are almost over. And we'll have to get folks into the game quickly if they're going to have time to compete in Canyon Blitz. But it does require that you have that Canyon Blitz, that Golden Helmet NFT, which by the way looks beautiful, as well as obviously you have to have a gaming PC and be able to play XOGP. And your second part of your question was, will we see more of these in the future? And the answer to that is absolutely. And we will make them bigger in the future and more broadly accessible. Right? This was really the first tournament that we were holding, and we were very intentional about wanting to keep the field at a smaller level. But the importance here is that we believe in competition. It's like internally we are so competitive with each other, even testing this game. Richard and I, our head of marketing, were on a panel yesterday talking about it, and literally the two of us go back and forth. And I don't like to admit it, but he's slightly faster than I am. But every once in a while, I put down a time, and then it's better than him, and he will stop whatever he's doing at that point in time and go play the game until he beats me. We are that competitive internally, and so continuing to do tournaments and have competitive opportunities for people to build rewards. Oh, there's Richard. I see him in the audience dropping emojis in as I tell this story. Um, but it's such a core thing to our DNA and to who we are and what we're building, that we will absolutely continue to have competitive opportunities around this game, because it's what it's all about.
That is amazing to hear, and I can't wait to see like more competitions moving forward. Obviously featuring MKIV suits, but before that, you've heard the alpha from Kevin himself. Golden Helmet is the alpha, and I may or may not have a giveaway on that later on. But Kevin said, "Follow me," and that might be the alpha. So we are seeing from your post that 3 days ago that you will be having 10 teams for XOGP, and I looked up that post. I pinned it up in the space for today. So could you share us more about these 10 teams and what would be the determinant for the players to be assigned to each team?
Absolutely. So first of all, go Flash Rabbits. That's my team. Just putting it out there. But so there's 10 teams as part of this Genesis collection and this alpha phase. There may be more teams in the future, but these are our core 10, and they're freaking incredible. We actually have a quiz up right now that was built by the team to figure out which team you align with the most. But to answer your question properly, I actually have to back it up to the Mark IV, or as you said, MKIV suit. But the Mark IV is the first suit that's going to be available, and a little bit of alpha there. That drop is coming very soon, and it's coming on a partner launch pad of ours, and there will almost certainly be alpha on when that's coming, and allow list opportunities for that later today. So that announcement is absolutely forthcoming on the Mark IV. With the Mark IV, right? This is the first opportunity, right? Ultimately, for people to play and get into XOGP, but also it's a fully composed suit, right? You're getting all of the pieces ultimately that are swappable later. But you're getting all the pieces that you need to play the game. You're getting the jetpack, the helmet, the gauntlets, the greaves, everything that composes an exo. And just to be clear, right, I talked about this at the top, but we treat these like wearable vehicles, right? So all these parts are swappable, as as you get access to new gear and new parts, so you can change out. If you say, "Oh, I have a different helmet that I want," like boom, swap it on, right? But bringing that back as part of this Genesis collection of exos, we've embedded teams in the exosuit, and it affects all of the livery, because we didn't want any bad looking suits in the first collection. You know what I mean? Like that mix and match feel. We wanted them all to be absolutely beautiful and stunning, because it is a Genesis collection. It's that first opportunity for people to be a part of Planet Atmos, and XOGP, and also it's that flagship collection that's going to become our premier user base. These are the people that are absolutely OGs, and so we've embedded these teams within the suits, right? So when you get a suit, you also will get a team. If and it affects kind of all of the other gear that you get with that suit. And when you start playing the game, right, it means that you're competing not just on the global leaderboard for times and for race wins. You're also competing on your team's leaderboard, and your team is competing against other teams for how they're doing, in terms of, most wins, etc. Right? Think of that like Hogwarts house points, right? Which team is doing the best? And so it's really baked into kind of this core. And ultimately what we want to see, right, is we want people, we want you to be on the team that you want to be on. And some of that will be due to, luck or randomness. And some of that will be people saying, hey, you know what, I got, a team chosen suit, but I really, really love, Vulcanson. And so I'm going to go get a Vulcanson suit, or I'm going to trade or swap with this person or otherwise, because I want to be here. And we wanted to create the dynamic that enabled that self-organization within our community, as we're, and again, fostering competition, right? We want these teams to compete with each other and to just create that dynamic, just like you see. Again, I use Formula One as an example a lot, but just like you see, the rivalry between Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes every year, right? We wanted to create similar dynamics within XOGP.
All right, that's amazing to hear, and I can't wait to see rivalries happening within XOGP ecosystem, particularly with the Mark IV team. So first of all, thanks for correcting me. That's Mark IV, so we will always remember that. Now, is the inspiration Iron Man?
The inspiration for the Mark IV namesake is actually the Mark IV Toyota Supra, which was a
Okay,
car that came out in the 90s, which I have a particular affinity for.
got it. Thanks for that. And yeah, I guess just to chime in on the Mark IV, we have an ongoing giveaway, and I'll pull that again on the space. So if you guys want an allow list to mint a Mark IV and be part of one of the teams, one of the 10 teams, I encourage you to join the giveaway and be in our space, obviously. And yeah, for a chance to win a allow list to the Mark IV Mint. And before I pass the mic back to my co-host, Pancake, I'd like to say hi to Motorverse, who is in the audience, also from the Animoca brand, Animoca group of companies. I was in their event in Dubai, and that was cool. They had an event with Yuga Gaming and obviously Motorverse and Animoca. I actually posted the GM photo today from that event where we had a photo with a Lambo. So yeah, hi Motorverse. I see you hiring back. Thanks for that. And passing the mic back to my co-host, Pancake.
Thanks for that, Kevin. So, I think Planet Atmos's game ExoGP is really similar to the F1 gameplay and the show. So, speaking of the Mint, could you share with us more about it? Like, when will it be? What chain and which platform?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. So this information is actually it's going to come out later today. But you know what? Screw it. We're
Oh,
here. Let's talk.
Alpha.
Let's talk about it. The mint is going to be next Thursday, May 9th, and it's going to be on Magic Eden. It'll be on ETH mainnet for the mint, and obviously that allow list giveaway is critical because that's the first folks that are going to have an opportunity to come in through the door. And so it's that's the alpha. It's coming. It's right around the corner. And you know what? A little bit more alpha. The suits look awesome.
All right, that's enough alpha for us. I think the suit looks awesome, and the gameplay. Oh my god! Like if you've seen that video, I think that should be an enough reason for you to mint a Mark IV suit. So that's coming. you heard from Kevin, May 9 on Ethereum, and it will be minted on Magic Eden. So see you there on the mint if you win an allow list or if you get an allow list from the team. So going back to XOGP and obviously your activations right now with Canyon Blitz, we saw that you've been collaborating with a lot of top gamers, and they had a chance to try XOGP ahead of everyone else, and all the rest could obviously try it after the mint potentially. Could we expect more of these activations with like gamers moving forward? Will XOGP or Planet Atmos have a general esports competition open for gamers, especially since you've mentioned that you guys are big fans of competition?
No question. I think that absolutely we'll have more competitions coming. Certainly we're fortunate to have the folks that we do have competing in Canyon Blitz, both that won golden helmets or otherwise got them, but the competition is core to what we're doing, and so I think we want to make sure that we're constantly fostering those opportunities for folks to come in and play and to compete for different rewards, right? So there will almost always be some type of competitive element to what we're doing. They may not be at the same scale, but there will be always on competition opportunities, and at the same time there will also be bigger opportunities in the future coming in terms of tournaments, leaderboard opportunities, as well as shorter competitions, like weekend events, etc. Because ultimately we want people competing. We want people talking about competing and laying down challenges and getting excited, because that's the best, right? That's why people watch sports. That's why they watch esports. That's why we get excited about competitive things in general, right? We had Luke Franks was on our space yesterday. He was talking about competitive eating, right? And it's fascinating that like that people are just absolutely like just diehards, and they want to compete at something that they're good at. So we want to give them XOGP to be good at and get after it.
Wow, there's so much competitions to look forward to with ExoGP. By the way, thanks for sharing the alpha a while ago, Kevin. Like the mint would be May 9. So I'd like to ask another alpha question that may be in everyone's minds right now. So will there be a Planet Atmos token, and how can users get the token if ever? And when will the TGE be?
Oh, that's a question I'm going to dodge right now and say I'm not going to give alpha on that at the moment. We're going to focus on the Mark IV suit coming out. But I love where you're going, and I think at the end of the day, the important thing is that folks are competing on the leaderboards and competing both on their team and on the global leaderboard. But that's all I'm going to say on that topic.
Nice dodge there, and I see Motorverse laughing as well down there. But yeah, definitely, I invite you all to follow Planet Atmos and make sure to turn your notifications on if you haven't. There's some alpha that will be coming out soon. Obviously, the Mint and XOGP and Wink Wink if there would be like PG or whatsoever. But obviously, they won't answer that at the moment, and we'll have to wait if ever. So I guess this has been like a great AMA with you, and we have one more question before we potentially pass the mic to some of the audience who might have questions as well. So before we do that, we'd like to ask, in your opinion, why should our listeners try to mint or be involved, mint Mark IV, or be involved in Planet Atmos as early as now?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons. Number one, the game is awesome. Number two, all of the suits in this collection are one of ones. They are art pieces. They are created by our fantastic art team. They look incredible, and they will be, the first folks through the door with the ability to play XOGP. With playing XOGP, that means that you're the first folks eligible for rewards, and the ability to compete on those leaderboards, both from a team standpoint and from an individual standpoint. And some of those rewards will be given to individuals, and some will be given to teams and distributed amongst those teams based on how you did for your team. And obviously, because it's possible to own more than one NFT, it's also possible to be a part of more than one team. And so, there's a myriad of reasons. There's also going to be more competitions launching pretty much as soon as we open up gameplay to folks with the Mark IV. And yeah, I think that about covers it. But yeah, it's good to be early.
Thank you for that, Kevin, and we appreciate you answering most of our questions except for one. But no worries about that. So yeah, I'd like to ask, I guess, the audience, if you have any questions, please request to speak on stage. We'll try to bring you up if you have any questions. And obviously, we'll also proceed with the raffle draw of our winner. We'll try to do it on the space while waiting for anyone to ask questions. So if you have questions, just request to speak. We'll try to bring you up on stage. And while I'm doing that, or while I'm waiting for anyone to ask questions, I'm looking right now at the people who joined our giveaway and who are also in the space. And I'll be selecting randomly, I guess, from here for a winner while we're waiting. So, any questions, guys, before I select the winner?
Yeah, any questions? Don't be shy to raise your hand.
Yeah, Pancake doesn't bite.
And J Bond and Kevin too.
I'm nice, guys.
Yeah, Kevin has been
Except
really
when I'm
nice.
except when I'm competing. Except when I'm competing, then I'm not as nice.
Yeah,
I don't
except
like
when you're
losing.
competing with Kevin on XOGP. So obviously, if you're gonna compete with him, you need to have a Mark IV suit. So
Or a golden
go
helmet
for
right
it.
now.
Yes, or a golden helmet, of course. And yeah, we'll see if we will be doing a giveaway for that. But yeah, try to get your hands on either a golden helmet or a Mark IV suit by next week's mint. Okay, since we don't have anyone asking questions, I'd like to proceed with the draw, and I'll check if there's drum roll here. There should be. Where's that? No, I can't find that in the effects. Okay, there
Manual
you go.
drum roll.
Is that working?
Yeah,
Okay,
it worked.
I think I
There.
think there I think there's someone requesting to speak earlier, or did we lose him or her? Anyway, if you want to ask questions, we're still open. Try to request again, but drum rolls again. Okay, the winner of our whitelist for Planet Atmos XOGP has to be in the space, and he is okay. I'm seeing him down there. Lancelot, congrats for winning a whitelist. Please DM us your Ethereum address, and you'll be able to mint next week a Mark
Hell yeah.
IV.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Well, welcome to the family, Lancelot. Also, just shout out to Piano Rush in the audience who got into Canyon Blitz yesterday and in 24 hours has climbed to the absolute top of the leaderboard with an unbelievable time of I think 56 and change seconds on the track for Canyon Blitz. So just I see him in there. It was an incredible feat. So just calling it out here, pretty awesome.
That is amazing. And yeah, I'm really excited to try it out as well. And hopefully, okay, I saw someone's requesting, but was out. I think that's Delara NFT. Before we end, if you'd like to request to ask question, we're open. But yeah, once again, congrats to Lancelot and huge shout out to Planet Atmos and all the players who are competing. Okay, I'm seeing Lancelot requesting. Congrats and welcome to Cooking with Bond Cake. It's connecting. All right, welcome Lancelot and congrats. I'm not sure if he would like to speak or what, but yeah, I'd like to say congrats again.
Congrats, Lancelot. Excellent use of sound effect.
Okay, but yeah, if I'm not sure if he wants to speak or yeah, if he's a shy type. But anyway, I think we're kind of done with most of our questions right now. Um, before we proceed to the last part of, of closing this Let Them Cook episode, Kevin, any last words for everyone who's tuning in today?
First of all, thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for having me. This has been absolutely fantastic. I love sharing the Planet Atmos story and XOGP with all of you. Obviously, since we dropped the alpha, I might as well repeat it. Mint's going to be on the Magic Eden Launchpad next week on May 9th. It'll be on mainnet ETH. And there will be allow list giveaways all over our socials, our Discord, as well as some of our partners like J Bond, and we certainly appreciate you guys having us, and look forward to chatting more in the future. Keep your eyes on XOGP. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. And it's been an awesome space. It's a pleasure having you in the Planet Atmos team and everyone in the audience. I think it's been an informative space. We like what you're building. We like what you're cooking down there in Planet Atmos, and we can't wait to see XOGP clips all over our feed with gamers trying to compete with one another. So it's an exciting project, and I think there should be more games coming out. So don't hesitate to be back here and let them cook. If you have new games coming up, and we'd love to talk with you again next time.
Sounds great. Let's do it.
All right. Thanks for that, Kevin. And yeah, I'd like to pass the mic on to my co-host, Pancake.
So thank you so much, Kevin. We really learned a lot about Planet Atmos and ExoGP. And for everyone here, thank you for spending your Thursday night or morning here with us and Let Them Cook. And stay tuned with Cooking with Bond Cake account to get to know what is our next episode, and be on the lookout as you may win whitelists and coveted spots in the most hyped projects. So once again, this is Pancake, your co-host, signing off.
And this is J Bond, Pancake's co-host and one half of the Cooking with Bond Cake team. And thank you again to everyone who's here. We'd love to see you again in our next Let Them Cook episode, and obviously in our Cooking with Bond Cake episodes. That's every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Singapore time, or if you are in the West Coast, that's 10 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays. And we'll be announcing our next guests on that soon. So once again, thanks Kevin and the Planet Atmos team. Thanks to the audience. And I'd like to try playing this sound, and I hope it works. for the end music.
Once again, thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Cheers.
everyone.